Welcome to YUKO. Today we are going to do seated flow for your core. This is a very mindfulness. We just focus on the sensation of the body and space. So it's walking the core. We focus on the abdominal area. And I'm going to jump in to start from cat-cow. But in you cat-cow, I want you to focus on the space from solar plexus to pubic bone. When you do cow pose, you open up, tilt your pelvis forward and creating space between pubic bone and solar plexus. When you take a tilt your pelvis back, cat pose, you're squeezing space between pubic bone and solar plexus. And inhale to open up. So let's do it. So you ready? So inhale to cow pose, pull your rib cage away from pubic bone, tilting pelvis tilting forward. And exhale, tilt your pelvis backward and bring your solar plexus and pubic bone closer, closer, closer. Complete exhale. And inhale, slowly opening up space, tilt your pelvis forward, big space between solar plexus and pubic bone. And exhale, round your back and squeezing space between solar plexus and pubic bone. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let's do two more. Inhale to open up space between solar plexus and pubic bone. And exhale, round your back and squeeze the space. Do one more. Inhale to open up space between solar plexus and the pubic bone in the cow pose. And exhale, squeeze space between solar plexus and pubic bone. Squeeze, 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 squeeze the space. And go to slowly sit up. And go to bring your hands behind your head. Now focus on the obliques. Start with, we're going to bend to the left. And when you inhale, we focus on the lifting right side of the rib cage to lengthening right obliques. And exhale, lower left side of the rib cage to squeeze left oblique. That's our focus. So everything follow the movement of your rib cage. And take a deep inhale, tummy stay flat. And exhale, lower left side of the rib cage to squeeze obliques. Inhale, lift your right side of the rib cage. And exhale, lower left side of the rib cage. Make sure sitting bones stay on the floor. Two more. Inhale to lift your right side of the rib cage. And exhale, lower left side of the rib cage. Another inhale, lift your right side of the rib cage. And exhale, lower left side of the rib cage. And inhale to slowly sitting up. Now focus on the diagonal line. So from ASI joint, which is the bumpy spot on the pelvis, and the tense ribs. So this is those spot like a angle. You have a bumpy spot on the rib cage. So we're gonna focus on the squeeze and open up this space next. So go ahead and keep your left hand on the floor for support your body. Right hand behind you, and take a deep inhale to move your rib cage, elbow away to move your this spot away from your pelvis. And exhale, elbow to the knee and squeeze space between ASI joint and tense ribs. And inhale, lift your elbow up and back to move your rib cage away from left side of the pelvis. And exhale, round your back, elbow to the knee to squeeze space between rib and ASI joint. And inhale, mindfully open up. So move your ribs away from your left side. And exhale, elbow to the rib cage and squeeze the diagonal line. Do two more. Inhale. And exhale. Squeeze the line. Inhale to lengthen the line. And exhale, squeeze the line. And inhale to slowly sit up. And shake your body to see how you feel. Hopefully you can feel this diagonal line and maybe center line because we worked on it. And we move on to the other side. So if you like, switch crossing legs. Sitting bones are grounded. And we focus on the ASI joint on the right side. This bumpy spot on the pelvis. And the bumpy spot on the pelvis, this is the tense ribs. So we're going to lengthen and squeezing this line, diagonal line. So keep your right hand on the floor to stabilize your body. Left hand behind your head. And inhale to move your elbow up and back to lengthen the space, lengthen the line. Exhale, elbow to the knee to squeeze a line. Inhale, lift your elbow up and back to lengthen the diagonal line. Exhale, elbow to the knee, round your spine to squeeze the line. Inhale mindfully to lengthening the space, lengthening the line. And exhale, elbow to the knee to squeeze the space, squeeze the line. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Do 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, slowly sit up. So go ahead and hug yourself, then we're gonna moving on to twist. So next, so focus on this diagonal line. So next time inhale, move your right side of the rib away from your hip flexor, and exhale, the lower left side of the rib toward your diagonally squeeze. And inhale to lift your right side of the rib cage. Exhale, move your left side of the rib cage toward the right hip flexor. 2 more breaths. Inhale to lift your right side of the rib cage away from hip flexor, left hip flexor. Exhale, move your left rib cage toward the right hip flexor. Do 1 more. Inhale, lift your right side. Exhale to lower and squeeze your left side. And inhale, slowly coming back to center. We switch, so crossing leg, change arm to do other side. So use your inhale to lift your left side, this only open up this diagonal line, and exhale to squeeze this diagonal line. You ready? So inhale to lift your left side of the rib cage away from right hip flexor. Exhale, move your left side of the right side of the rib cage toward the left hip flexor. Inhale, lift your left side of the rib cage to open up the space. Exhale, move your right side of the rib cage toward your left hip flexor. Inhale, move your left rib cage away from right hip flexor. Exhale, squeeze space between left hip flexor and right side of the ribs. Do 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, coming back to center and slowly sit up. And go ahead and shake up your body and see how you feel. Maybe you want to swing your arm to twist the spine to loosen up a little bit more. And check into yourself. Can you feel like you got a more engagement to your core? Can you still feel the diagonal line in your core? I hope so. And hopefully this is helping somebody somewhere today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like our video, follow my channel, and come see me more. And thank you so much, and see you next time.